Do gentlemen prefer blondes? Perhaps that's a debate for another day, but certainly the film is spectacular and I loved it more than I expected to. This was released in 1953, directed by Howard Hanks, with a screenplay written by Charles Lederer, and it stars Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe as Dorothy Shaw and Lorelei Lee, respectively. And this has such a thrilling, engaging narrative with some wonderful performances. The description from IMDb reads as follows, which I think is pretty accurate and free from spoilers. Showgirls Lorelei Lee and Dorothy Shaw travel to Paris, pursued by a private detective hired by the suspicious father of Lorelei's fiancé, as well as a rich, enamoured old man and many other doting admirers. It is very much a case for all of these men to flock around Marilyn Monroe. This may have actually been the first Monroe film I saw. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure, and what an introduction to her it is. That iconic pink dress, she looks amazing, and on screen it's so vivid and so attractive, and certainly to an audience in the 50s, that vibrancy of pink on screen would have been incredible. So, hats off to the costume department and the visuals, it looks amazing. The film itself, what works for me is that it does something that I don't normally like in a film, and yet I find that it works really well. And that is, it's set in one location. And I always think that if something's set in one place, it can drag. This is set primarily on the boat over the Atlantic to go to France. And I think, well, if it's all going to be set in a boat, what room's there for action? What's there going to be? But honestly, it works so well. We get to kind of follow around Lorelei and a little bit of Dorothy and the men who are in her life and the way they dote after her or dote upon her and follow after her. And there's an interesting bit with, well, some diamonds. And I don't know if I like Lorelei. I don't like her attitude. I love the character. I think the character is great fun. She comes across really well on screen and she's really well developed, she's really engaging, she's really entertaining to watch. Her performances are thrilling. But as a character, as a person, I think Lorelai's a little bit irritating and I would not get on with her in real life. Obviously, she is fantastically played by Monroe and I love her performance. It's a very glitzy film. Obviously, these showgirls are used to glitz and glam, and that's definitely something that Lorelei harbours. It also gives us that wonderful, iconic performance of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and I didn't know that this is where this came from until I sat down and watched the film, so that was a real treat. I've also just realised, and this is something, again, I didn't realise until just now, I have the IMDb page in front of me to fact check because I forget everything, and it was actually filmed at the MGM Studio in Bournemouth, which doesn't exist now. I assume it was the Elstree lot. And also at 20th Century Fox. But that's nice, I didn't know part of it was filmed over here. It isn't award winning as far as I can see, but it did receive a nomination. And that nomination was for the Best Written American Musical for the Writers Guild of America. Just out of curiosity, because I think it could have been a really strong contender, I'm going to see who actually did win that year. Because it could have been up against something amazing. It was up against a film I haven't seen. The Best Written American Musical winner for that year was a film called Lily. It was also up against Call Me Madam, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, that's that film, Kiss Me Kate, and The Bandwagon. I'm surprised Kiss Me Kate didn't win. But yeah, so it's done really well for itself. It's got 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a really brilliant rating. And as I said, that dress, that vibrant pink, is just absolutely incredible. The costume design is by Trevilla, whose work I am not consciously familiar with. Same costumier for the 7-Year Itch, work on Dallas. Quite a lot of other things actually. Yeah, so strong cast, strong crew. Definitely recommend it. As I said, I believe it was my introduction to Monroe. So I would feel confident in saying if you're not familiar with her work yet and you want to watch her in something, I'd say Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is a great introduction to her. Her performance is amazing. Her character is brilliant, annoying but brilliant. And the narrative itself, the development is great, the pacing's great. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes is really rather spectacular.